Welcome, biology students. We're going to be learning about 8.8 assignment, sickle cell anemia. So we're going to scroll down to module 8 and 8.8 slides. Click on the slide deck. The first is all about objectives. The second is a description about sickle cell anemia. Here they call it a disease, but this is an inheritable disease that you can inherit from your parents. You always get two alleles, one from one parent and one from the other. And depending on which is dominant, that's the way that it's going to be expressed in your body. Okay, so for example, when we're talking about sickle cell anemia, the dominant allele is going to give you a normal round red blood cell, but the recessive allele is going to give you a sickle cell shaped or kind of awkward looking C shape. But you could also be a carrier where you get one allele that's normal from one parent and one allele that's sickle cell shaped from the other, and you get something in between. And actually, that's the reason why this still exists in humans, is because it's an advantage if you have this something in between when you're in a country where there is malaria. So large numbers of humans, and where humans evolved from in Africa and then also in South America and South Asia, there is malaria. Millions of people have died from it all the time. Unfortunately, it's a terrible disease. It's passed through mosquitoes into your bloodstream. A parasite will actually reproduce in a normal red blood cell and then eventually make your blood very sticky and unable to function, and that's how you die. If you have an in-between, if you're a carrier for sickle cell anemia, the parasites don't reproduce as well, and so you have a 50 to 90% better chance of surviving. So it really depends on where you live. If you're in North America where there's no malaria, then it's a disadvantage because it actually, sickle cell shaped blood doesn't carry oxygen as well. But if you're in an area of the world where malaria is dominant, it's a huge advantage because it will help you survive if you get malaria. Okay, moving on though, we're going to go right to the worksheet. You're going to learn a little bit about Punnett squares here, but we're going to go right to the worksheet so you can learn about this. A Punnett square is something that shows you a little bit about how you get some genes from your one parent and some genes from your other parent. In this case, this parent, your parents have heterozygous. That means they have a dominant and a recessive allele, and the other parent has a dominant capital S and lowercase s, heterozygous again. So in this first quadrant, you're going to have two uppercase S's. In the second quadrant, it's going to be uppercase S, lowercase s. In this third quadrant, uppercase S, lowercase s. And down here, it's two lowercase s's. This one is sickle cell anemia, and people die from it. These two right here are going to be heterozygous. That's when you're the carrier and it doesn't impact you. And then this one is homozygous, which is just the plain dominant, which is just the plain red blood cells. You're going to talk about the fractions here, and you're going to fill out these Punnett squares, and then you're going to use that penny that is part of the material for this experiment, and you're going to start tossing the penny, and if you get two tails in a row, you're going to use this genetic trait, which is dominant homozygous, two large S's, normal. If you get heads, tails, then you're going to use this quadrant, which in this case, it's heterozygous. If you're down here with heads, that's going to be recessive, the sickle cell anemia. And once you figure all that out, you're going to fill out this pedigree chart, and you're going to answer the following questions. And there are several questions to answer, all based on your coin tosses and your understanding of genetics, Punnett squares, and pedigree charts. Good luck.